Hey traders, another recap here for you from my ES trading on Wednesday, June the 1st, and a little bit different in here because of the time when I started. As you'll note, usually I do start at that New York Stock Exchange Open, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, or just a little bit before that, but had a later start on this day. Just wasn't feeling great, feeling a little bit under the weather the day before, and so I wanted to catch a little bit extra sleep, make sure I wasn't going to get a cold or anything like that. So started a little bit later on, but still put in a pretty solid 2-hour session, which is usually what I kind of try and aim for, more or less. Sometimes I'll go a little bit longer. Sometimes I might wrap it up pretty quick within an hour or so if it's just a day that's not offering a ton of opportunity. But a couple hours in here, and you can see that kind of earlier on here we had a pretty good move up, and unfortunate that I kind of started when I did because I missed out on some good trades. I probably hindsight's 2020, of course, but probably would have been able to get long in here. Probably not in here because it would have been chasing things a little bit, but possibly might have been able to get a little bit of profit there. But and then a pretty easy short in here, which I definitely would have had. So didn't get those, but because we had this sort of trending move going on, a pretty clear level here that acted as both some resistance going a little bit further back and some support. I had a nice area I could trade off of there in line with some of those trending flows and with the kind of path of least resistance, essentially expecting buyers to potentially come in at this level if the momentum's low. And that's what we saw in here, low limited momentum and a good by the book sort of deep level pullback that hits or fits the criteria for my rules. So a nice trade there that I could take with pretty limited risk. And the beauty of these is that they have a very good reward potential, usually a fair bit better than average. In a really good trend, these often go for 3, 4, or 5 points. When you don't have quite as strong a trend established, you usually are just kind of aiming for the other side of what might be a potential range. So in this case, heading back up into this level. So just targeted a few points, was happy with that. Could have had a little bit more, but didn't want to push things because sellers might come in. They had come in a little bit earlier over here, and then we kind of grinded up a little bit. So I didn't want to push things. Did try to give another attempt here to see if I could take this back up, because I had a feeling with the momentum up here that even though we'd respond on that first test and see a little bit of selling come in, that we'd probably try and get that second test. And then that's pretty typical when the momentum's high that you are going to get that retest in the area. And so tried to go long in there, wasn't able to get a fill. After that, just kind of a little bit of a waiting game because there wasn't enough selling to switch the other direction. We did push up pretty strongly here, and if we had had a nice smooth pullback in here, well, momentum was pretty high, might have been interested, but we saw things starting to fade and then some strong momentum coming in the other way, so it didn't really fit the rules anymore, so just passed on that one, but went the opposite direction because we were breaking down below the level. A little bit of a false break here, which in those cases, you've now got some traders potentially trapped long, traders who've taken the breakout or trying to chase price. A lot of newer traders and novice traders and stuff, they get caught in these sort of situations, and the price snaps back the other way, and then the panic can kind of set in, and now they've got those long positions that are underwater and in drawdown, and they start to panic and they sell to get out of their positions, and it can accelerate things in the other direction. So took a little bit of time to get going here, but once it pushed down, there's a really nice profit there. Again, there was a little bit more profit available, but I was going against the flows in general here, thinking this area might react a little bit more. So just playing it safe, just taking a couple points, and then just called it a day there. And again, we're into an area where I know buyers may come in, so I'm not really looking to go short in these sort of ranging environments. Don't want to trade directly into those clear levels, which can bring in supply or demand against me. And so I was just kind of waiting out a little bit here to see if we might break through, and then might have kept trading, but things started to fade a bit. So I just kind of called it a day there rather than pushing things any further, because it had been a couple hours, as I mentioned before. So overall, a pretty solid one so far this week. All winners, which is not really that typical, but there hasn't been a lot of trades yet, so I'm sure there'll be, it'll get mixed up a little bit as the week goes on with some more winners and probably a loss or two. But so far, with the week being pretty selective, and it's definitely paying off in terms of some good high quality trades, and some very nice profitable days so far. So hopefully it continues. We're into summer trading now, so things can change a little bit in terms of volatility and the volume, but we'll see how things go, and hopefully good trading continues throughout the week.